Inner child messiness and brilliance. So the other day I posted, "What do you want to talk about on Daily Fuel?" And my friend Dagmar, she always comes up with like a list of things, just like they just run off the top of her head. I don't know where they come from, but she's very good at it. And one of her multiple suggestions was these exact words. These are her words. I didn't make up this phrase. Inner child messiness and brilliance, she said. And I said, that sounds really cool. I don't know what you meant by that, Dagmar, but this is what I meant by that. So I'm gonna kind of run with it based on, as I do, past Daily Fuels that we've done this week. Today's Thursday, so all week we usually there's like a theme that runs through the week because the conversations just kind of continue most of the time, and today's no different. So yesterday we were talking about brain-heart coherence, and that was one of the things we were talking about. And so just briefly to recap, in case you didn't watch yesterday's and don't feel like going back to watch it and then come back here, but basically what that means is that our heart is this pure energy, as I see it, right? That our heart is this pure energy, and it just flows on this energy wave that's just perfect and beautiful and wonderful. And our brain, what we want to do is we want to get our brain on that same frequency so that they're flowing in coherence like that, right? But a lot of times what happens, we get all messed up, we get stressed out, we get worried, we get whatever, and our heart's doing this, and our brain is doing this. It's like that's what happens, and it's okay. That's part of being human. That's why we are human. Source energy is just always this, and we were like, this can be boring sometimes. Let's go mess it up and see if we can get back in alignment, and that's why we're here. So, if we're all crazy like this, that's like being on the roller coaster. Then we get off the roller coaster and we get back into our alignment. And we were talking about that yesterday. And then I saw Dagmar's suggestion for inner child messiness and brilliance. And I was like, you know what? That's a really cool angle to talk about kind of the same thing. I was like, your inner child, and I think as artists, we can really tap into this idea. Most of us probably, if we're artistic now as adults, we're probably artistic in some fashion as kids. And for a lot of us who are visual artists, we were probably finger painting and doing stuff and making stuff and getting messy and, just making a mess, And that's what a kid does. And your inner child is probably messy, but also brilliant because our artistic talents were probably showing through from a young age. "Oh, you're so good at that. You should be an artist when you grow up." I don't know how many times you heard that, but I heard that quite often. And it was nice to hear. And being that inner child as an adult, when you can really tap into that and get into that flow state, it's nice. But a lot of times your inner child can be unfocused. So I was kind of seeing this as the inner child part of us is that heart part, and it's really nice, except a lot of times it gets unfocused. We just want to play, we just want to do this, we're just that pure energy. We're the kid that just wants to play with our crayons, and there's nothing wrong with that, except that some days you got shit to do, you got stuff to do, you got bills to pay, you got a job to go to, you got a family, you got kids that want to eat, you got real kids, not the inner kid, the real ones that are running around going making a lot of noise, right? And we got to take care of this stuff. People want something from you. Your boss wants something. A client wants something. Your spouse wants something. Your siblings, your family members want something out of you, and that's where we can get messed up. So I've got my three things. I already said the first one. I forgot to start numbering. So number one is we have this inner child, and that I see as this heart, this pure energy. But a lot of times that can be unfocused because we're not really learning. I'm saying this wrong. Hang on. What do I mean by unfocused? I mean that a lot of times that inner child part of us just wants to play, and we're not really focusing that power that the inner child brings to the table into something that is more meaningful in life other than the play part. Follow me on this. Because I think what happens is then we have so the inner child is the heart, right? Now the brain part of us is our addiction to reality, our addiction to being adults, to looking around in the world and saying, I gotta fix that, and this thing sucks, and that person's annoying me, and I gotta freaking take care of that thing, And these things can cause stress, We see them as responsibilities, but maybe not. Maybe there's stuff that our inner kid might be like, oh, I don't want to take care of that. That doesn't seem fun. I want to go play. I want to make my art. I want to do my stuff. So when you're an adult in a situation and the kids are getting upset about what's going on, because have you ever like brought a kid to the store? Have you ever brought a kid to the store? Let me tell you something. Kids don't always like stores, right? So you bring the kid to the store and at first they're like, are we done yet? And you're like, I literally just put you in the cart. I'm talking like a little kid, right? I literally just put you in the cart and walked in the door. I haven't even picked anything up to put in the cart yet, let alone get everything and then go through the cash register and pay, right? We are not done yet. And so they're like picking things up. What is this? What is it? And then they get to the point where it's just like they're aggravated. Now, because why? Because the little kid just wants to be the little kid, the inner child. This is what I mean by unfocused. The inner child doesn't want to know about responsibilities, about taking care of shit. The inner child just wants to play. The inner child just wants to be a child. But the inner grown-up is like, I gotta buy the steak. You want to eat tonight? You like eating, don't you? Well, guess what? I gotta buy food. So shut up and sit down. And that's what happens, is that the inner grown-up starts to tell the inner child to just shut up and sit down, right? I don't say that to my kids. I've never said those words exactly, but we all know what that feels like, to just be like, be quiet, go away, leave me alone, go play in your room, get out of my hair, blah, 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 right? Just shut up and sit down. We just want peace and quiet for a minute so that I can take care of this grown-up stuff. And then what happens is we kind of bring this through our entire life, where we're constantly telling our own inner child to shut up and sit down. I don't have time to do this right now. I don't have time to play. I don't have time to take care of this thing that I want to do. I got to take care of this thing that these people want to do. Because if I don't take care of that thing, they're going to bug the fucking shit out of me until I do. And I'd rather they just shut up and leave me alone, and I'll just take care of that thing. Or I got to go to work. Or I got to do this. Or I got to do that. We have so many things that we got to do. The inner child just wants to know about the things that I get to do. You see the difference? And I think that the reason that we're constantly outside of heart-brain coherence, our heart's doing this, and our brain is doing this. And I think that the reason that we are is because we live our lives so much as this adult that is forgetting that we are also the child. And we're just telling the child to shut up and sit down and leave me alone for a minute. Except that minute is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So that leads me to number 3. Number 1 is the inner child. The number 2 is reality, the adult in us. That's the brain part. And number 3 is how to bring this together. And that's where we can start to practice and remember that that inner adult is an adult, and we're smart. We can be the parent to the inner child. We don't have to be this adult that feels like the inner child is annoying us. We can be the parent to that inner child. And remember to say, you know what? It would be fun to go have a catch. It would be fun to play this game. It would be fun to do this thing. And I'm going to figure out how to schedule that into our life. And when I say our, I mean me. I mean you. I mean, you are the inner child and the adult. And you're allowed to be the parent to your own inner child. Even if your parents were horrible and sucked, that doesn't matter. You don't have to be your parents. You are the parent now to yourself, is what I'm trying to say. You can do that. We're allowed to do that. You're allowed to think of it any other way. If you don't like this metaphor, think of it a different way. But think of your heart and your brain and how to bring them together so that they play nicely more often. It doesn't mean that you take all the things that the brain worries about, responsibilities, bills, job, relationships and things like that. It doesn't mean you take those things and throw them out the window and just play with crayons all day long. But it also doesn't mean that we take our crayons and break them up and throw them out the window and tell the kid to just stay in the closet so that we can just be an adult all the time. Except that's what we usually do. We have to do both. You got to do both. It's a balance of both. And if you can practice that, you will start to get into your own groove. And Robin, I see that you're here, and I was wondering to myself, I wonder if that's what Robin means by being distracted. It's like if you, I'm talking about something we've mentioned the last couple of lives. And she said that, one of the things that bothers her, she felt that she could be so much further along in her endeavors, in her career, or, I'm putting words in her mouth. If she wasn't so distracted, she starts one thing and then moves on to another thing. And I think that that is an argument, a battle between your inner adult and your inner child. Your inner child just wants to play and have fun. And it's just like, this is boring. I'm going to go on to this next thing. This is boring. I'm going to go on to this next thing. And the inner adult isn't policing the child enough to say, hey, let's finish this thing and then move on to the next thing. Then we'll have two finished things rather than two unfinished things. And instead, the inner adult is saying, I suck at this. The kid is just running around like a lunatic, and now all I want to do is like, the kid's asleep? Oh, finally, I'm just going to have a cigarette and drink a bottle of whiskey and fall asleep. You know what I mean? It's like, these aren't healthy ways to do it. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong, Robin. I'm just really like harping on this example because it was such a great example this week, so thank you. By the way, be very wary of what you write in the comments because I will talk about it obsessively if it fits my program. So, just be warned. So, to wrap up, our inner child wants to be that. The inner child is the pure positive energy, but I think sometimes it can be unfocused. Our inner adult wants to be responsible and take care of all the things that we have to, except sometimes we forget that the inner child is important too. And all I'm saying is, let's try to marry the two together. Not marry, we're not marrying children. Let's try to bring the two together. Your inner adult can be the parent to the inner child. How does that sound? All right, let's go to the comments, because usually this stuff makes more sense when you guys talk, and then I say things back, and then I'm like, that's what I meant to say. That's awesome, man. What did I say? I said I'm doing great too? Is that what I said? Thanks. Robin. Hello, Bobby. And all the other artists. There you go. See, this isn't hard. You say hello to me, make me feel really good and important, and then you say hello to the other people. That's the way it's done. Thank you very much. Hi, Bobby and all. You can do it in one sentence. I kind of prefer Robin's way. She broke it up into two sentences, and I even got an exclamation point all to myself. I have to share the exclamation point in this. Okay, enough of this shit. You guys know I'm playing. Hello, guys, says Facebook user. Who is this? That's Vic. Hey, Vic, how you doing? I'm just going to assume it's Vic from now on. Hi, Vic. Nice to see you, although I can't. Donna says, hello, beautiful people, especially Bobby. See, that's nice also. I like that a lot. Hi, Donna. Nice to see you. Good morning. Karina. Hi. How are you? Oh, my God, yes. This can be boring. It's the truth. My soul knows it's boring there, and being human is excitement. My brain tells me it's misery and chaos, and my heart is like, be free, birdie. This is great. Yeah, what did I say? I said that source energy is just a perfect alignment. So your source energy, when it is not in physical form at all, when you're just floating out there in the ether, whatever that looks like, I have no idea. Whatever you like to think it looks like, I'm sure that's what it is. It's always like this. It's always perfect. Oh, I'm happy about this thing. And then it's just brilliantly happy. It's like there is no level other than perfection. And imagine if life were like that. It would kind of be boring, And I think that's why we said, this is boring. Let's do something that's not boring. Let's make it so that we push ourselves all the way down to this level. And now it's like, oh my God, I hate this. And then climb back up, because climbing back up feels so good, right? We think that if everything were perfect, that would be what feels amazing, but it's not. What's amazing is going from not perfect to better, moving forward and feeling that forward motion. That's what feels amazing in life. Do you get the same level of excitement and wonder and awe from pieces of art that you've already made, or do you get it from making the one you're making now? I know that we can look at things, or you listen to music or something that we've done in the past and be like, oh, that's amazing, I really like that. But really, why do we then go make another one? Because if we've already made one that's beautiful, why bother making another one? I can just look at this one forever and get that feeling. No, I can't. I get that feeling when I make the next one. Breathe, thanks. I remembered my water today. I put the dog away. I'm on the ball today. Let me tell you something. My inner child was ready to go, and my inner adult was like, hang on, we got some stuff to take care of. We worked together. Robin, I am the opposite of telling the child to shut up so I can do the things I have to do. Yeah, right? I think that's what I was saying. But instead, I more tell the adult to shut up and sit down so I can play. Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? I guessed that, and you're agreeing. So that's great. Right, like the distracted thing is the inner child is just running around. Oh, now I want to do this. Now I want to do this. Now I want to do this. And then when the inner adult takes center stage, your inner adult is looking around going like, what happened here? Oh, we played this game and that game and that game and this game. Yeah, but you mixed up all the pieces. Who's going to clean this up? You were painting and drawing and playing board games. Now you got paint all over the board game pieces and all over the walls. And you know what I'm saying? And so when you see that in your own life, obviously you're not literally doing those things, but you're seeing that, and your diagnosis is there's something wrong with me. I'm distracted. You're not distracted. You're just not parenting your inner child enough. So do that. So I can play. Yeah, I got it. So I can play. Yeah, I got it. You said so. You said it. Well, all right. I got it. Thank you. So I can play. So adult, shut up so I can play. I got it. Oh boy. Whoa, where am I? There's the breathe. Hi. Oh, this is Dagmar. Hi, Dagmar. How are you? Yeah, this was your, I don't know if you remember writing this one because you wrote like 20 ideas in my post. What should we talk about on Daily Fuel? And one of yours was Inner Child, Messiness, and Brilliance. Those were your words exactly. I made that the title because I liked those words because the inner child is messy, but the inner child is brilliant. And you know what? I forgot to really harp on these words for a second. The messy part is I said unfocused, but you said messy. And really, using Robin's example again, the inner child is just like running around playing this game and that game and that game, and then the mess is when you're not parenting it, when you're not guiding it, when you're not focusing it. It can be messy, and then it can feel like you really got nothing done. Yeah, that was fun and all, but kind of unproductive, and I haven't really moved forward in life, and I didn't get anything accomplished. I was just doing fun things in and of the moment. We all need days like that, but we don't want a life like that. Because we want to be able to point to things and be like, look what I did. I made this. I created this. You know. So thank you, Bobby. So long ago, now listening. Bobby, so long ago. Now, what was so long ago? What, since I've done this, since you've listened, since you've been on a live, I don't know what was so long ago, but all of those things, and I'm very glad that you're here, Dagmar. So that's wonderful. Look who found the link. Look who found the link. Oh my God. Hallelujah. Thank you for doing that. It's me again. Donna says, ooh, I like this parenting the inner child. That makes sense to me. Yeah, by the way, for anyone who's interested in that topic, I don't remember what I said in it, but I did a live last year called Reparenting Yourself or something like that. It's on my YouTube channel, so you can go find it. Just go to my YouTube channel, it's Fuel Blue, and search for the word reparent, and you'll probably find it. If you wanted to watch that. It's not in the group, but it's on YouTube. Robin, the kid is running around like a lunatic. Me. And later finds that telling the adult to shut up to let me play, I find that, oops, I meant to pay my car registration and rake leaves in time to put right, all the stuff all your adult stuff that you had on your list that you wanted to do, and then the next thing you know, the day's over and you didn't do any of those things. Was it cold out today? Did you get to do them? Pre-emergent weed control, right, but if I take too long to get to raking my leaves in time, my weeds will have emerged and, too late to stop my weeds in time. So that is why me telling my adult to shut up is a good thing sometimes, and other times maybe not. Yeah, sometimes it's okay. But sometimes I think, Robin, you are exhibiting the opposite of what I was saying in the beginning of this. I think that for many of us, we are constantly being the adult telling the kid to shut up and sit down, whereas sometimes That's more me. And Robin, more you is the kid is just out of control and the adult gives up, or the kid is telling the adult to shut up and sit down. But however you like to see it, it's fine. Either way is going to have an unbalanced, unfocused result, and probably not very fulfilling. That's why I think we need to merge the two together. I'm not going to say marry again, because then somebody's going to be like, Bobby wants to marry children, and that's not what I'm talking about. Sometimes, says Kirsten, you need to sit down and give yourself a parent pep talk. That's the other thing, right? It's really funny because I can find myself at times, thank you for this one, Kirsten. I can find myself at times feeling like I'm not good at this, I can't do this, this is not going to work, this is going to fail. And that inner program is playing where you just feel like I'm in over my head. Put your own negative thoughts in there, right? I have them too. I'm not immune to these things. And the parent pep talk is you're allowed to give that to yourself, because if one of my children said those things aloud to me about themselves, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm looking at my son, the things that he's doing, and sometimes he'll come to me and he'll be upset about the way things are going with with things that he's working on, and I'll just wish that he could remember with a little more clarity what he was up to only 6 months ago, and how far I have seen him come in his endeavors, except that he's only looking at it in this myopic little time slice of I'm here now and I want to be over there and I stink at this, whereas I'm looking at it as you started over here and you've come this far and you're still moving. You're just not, your goalposts have just moved, because now that you've gotten to here, you realize, oh, I'd also like to see what it's like over there. And by the way, once you get over there, there's going to be another place you want to go. So we can constantly be kicking our butts for never being there, because there is no there. You're always going to want something more. You're always going to think of something better. You're always going to have another thing to work on. Which is why we make more art, which is why I didn't make one drawing one time in my life, and every time I feel artistic, let me just look at my art. I'm so good at art. No, I'm good at art because I keep doing art. The positive emotion that I find sustaining is experienced in relationship to an unachieved goal. I really got to be a little more focused when I'm reading your things. Nathan says, the positive emotion that I find sustaining is experienced in relationship to an unachieved goal. Okay, what do you mean by that? The positive emotion that I find sustaining. Sustaining means that it keeps on going. So the thing that makes you feel positive ongoing is your relationship with an unachieved goal. So what do you mean by that? Does that mean that you keep working at it and keep striving for it, and then that motion toward it keeps you in a sustainable positive emotion? That's what I'm taking from that. See, yesterday I didn't have the cognitive ability to decipher that, but I like the way you write. My inner erratic child. I thank you for finding the link. I appreciate that. Donna says, Kirsten Moore, I like this. Yeah, I liked it too. Thanks. Robin has more to say. But I don't remember where we left off. But I know I should not be so hard on myself. And I should remember that if I would up missing stuff, if I wound up missing stuff or make some mistakes, I can always go to my plans, A, B, C, D, etc., to correct anything and everything necessary. So it's all good. And besides, the child might have done some things very good anyway. Well, that's also it, is that, for those of us who are constantly suppressing our inner child, the child has so much to bring to the table. And for those of us that are letting our child run rampant without parenting it at all, well, then maybe when the adult does wake up, you can look around and instead of noticing just a mess, notice that, you know what, you got paint on the walls, but I like that color better, so make the wall that color now. You know what I'm saying? Like, find something in that you can work with now from the adult standpoint. Good point, Robin. Thanks for that. I'm guessing this is Dagmar. I'm guessing, and I am correct. The keys to find in our inner child is huge. The Dagmar, you're gonna have to click that link again. I'm sorry. It happens because I haven't done Daily Fuel in a while, and the settings in privacy settings apparently have changed, and you're not showing up. So if you can find that link, I'll try to remember to tag you with a link later. But it should be in the what do you call it? The description of this post. If you look in the description of this post, it should be in there. The inner parent. Sorry, let me start over. The keys to find in our inner child is huge. The inner parent as well. I feel as well as all our shadow trauma starts in the womb, baby, toddler. Further, it's linked to it, and it's all so subtle. All the child's needs and phrases so easily or over cared, nurtured. That's what it needs. It wants to be seen, heard. If your parents didn't give you what your needs were, which is like always, right? That's where we find our own power to guide, to choose. This is a collective wound. We also find our joy, play, and mission on earth there, and the child. I'm reading too slow. The child already was interested in what is our biggest dream, life, way of living. We have more than one inner kid. Too much to type. We have more than one inner kid. Ooh, I hadn't thought of that. I like that one. That's an interesting thing. Yes, thank you for all of that. That the child is expressing what you've always needed, even when you were a child. And even if your parents did or didn't give you the attention, the nurturing, the whatever that you deserved and needed back then, even if they did, you can give it yourself more. Even if they didn't, you can do it for yourself now. The past is irrelevant. Don't mire yourself and tether yourself to some past that says, well, I was never nurtured as a kid and now I can't be nurtured now. That's bullshit. That's your own, that's trauma that you are applying to yourself now and using the past as an excuse. You are allowed to nurture yourself and take care of yourself and parent yourself now. No one's going to do it for you. Even your own parents, because they can't give you exactly what you need moment to moment because they are not in your head. They're not in your soul. They're different people. I can only look at my kids and be like, hey, what do you need? Can I help you with something? But a lot of times I'm powerless because there are things they have to do and figure out for themselves. And so do you. Robin says, Donna, good idea. Good idea, Donna. I don't know what it was because I don't pay attention. I just read them. I don't really pay attention to any of this stuff. Maybe I'll try that. Good one, Kirsten. So either Donna's had a good idea and she's going to try Kirsten's thing, or I'm not sure what's going on there. But cheerleading yourself. Yeah, cheerleading yourself. Absolutely. Is that Dagmar Moore? No, it's Richard. Hey, what's up, man? Nice to see you. I haven't been here for months now. I'm a jeweler apprentice. That sounds cool. Do we get to see? Let's see some jewelry, dude. Movement. Yeah, you're moving forward in life. Nice. Nice to see you, though. I'm very happy that you're here. Yes. 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 That's all. Hope pushes me forward. Oh, yes, what I said? I got it right? Okay, I got you. Hope pushes me forward. Yeah, this is definitely Dagmar. Messiness is mesmerizing. I also love organizing. Natural order, which also asks guiding. I always have paint somewhere on my face. We'll click the link later. Yeah, not now. You don't have to do it now. Do it later. I never have paint on my face because I am not into messy art. I am a digital artist and I like it that way. My child, says Robin, my child is probably in my family, like me, myself, and I. LOL. That lets the child run rampant without much discipline. Actually, come to think of it, I think I remember some comments from elementary school report cards. Really? Saying, really? uh, Saying Robin needs to stop talking at the back of the room. Talking so class can start. Yeah, always talking, huh? So I think this thing has been a lifelong thing, not just a new phenomenon. We are always who we are, and the inner child is a true version of you. The parent is the version that you're trying to be to make other people happy. And by merging them together, you're focusing that who you really are with the power of an adult. Imagine if a kid had the power of an adult in society, right? Imagine if every adult had the wisdom of a child in society. That would be an amazing society. And the truth is, we all have that, just we don't know how to use it. We don't do it, which is why we have things like what's going on in Ukraine happening in the world. Because people aren't merging their inner child with their adult and learning how to be a citizen of the world and a citizen of their home and a citizen of their town. And learning how to live the life that you want to live. I'm not getting political here. I'm just saying that we can learn how to merge those two together so that we can have the trueness of who you are, which is that child, and focus it with the power of an adult in a society so that we can actually make things happen with it and live a life on this earth that we want to live. How's that sound? Sounded good to me. We are multi-dimensional Siamese inner child parent beings. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. They are together. We're just not playing together. We are merged, and many much more. Yep, you're absolutely right. I think that was Dagmar. I'm going with that. We make realities out of our dreams and dreams out of our realities. We are the dreamers of the dreams. Yeah. Yeah. Those were the kind of the lyrics to one of my songs there that I posted. Funny. I just spit across my room. Hang on, I need some water. Funny thing. Rooms too orderly make me nervous. Isn't that interesting? My therapist once told me to go to my cleanest room in my house and see how I can be there. And I tried, and I lasted for only 5 to 10 minutes because it felt too boring. That is interesting. Yeah, My inner child is rabid when it wakes, and so is my appreciative parent, with milk and cookies and a broom. What is that? A tattoo? What is that? What am I looking at here? Robin says we are both the young and the yin and the yang. Wow, now I get it. I thought you were going to say the young and the restless. We are both the yin and the yangs. Wow, now I get it. Yeah, we are. We're both. We're the whole package. Inner big hugs to you all. I now further tinkering times. Well, Dagmar's got to go. We all got to go. And Dagmar, you can have the booby prize today since this was all your fault. So we're going to end this one here. And I thank you for your time and hanging out with me. As always, I appreciate it. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to do these Monday to Thursday and then give myself a 3-day weekend to ramp up for next week. So I'll be back with Daily Fuel on Monday. I'll be around in the group all weekend though. So, we'll do other things and that's it. So thanks very much for hanging out and I will see you on Monday. And Dagmar, thank you. And booby prize for you. Bye-bye.